Hello everybody. This week's episode, we finished the search for Caesar. We learned the backstory from my new neighbor. I also add some objects to my second character's living room. And I also chat about my plans for Serenity. I wanted to add a few things to my second character's living room. I added 3 photos to the room. Boots' photo, because he was on an old island that I lost. I really liked Boots. The second photo is of Ursula, who was on my island Eloin that I lost. And the third is of Filbert. I like Filbert. He was on an old island that I also lost. I'm not really having good luck with islands since 2020. I also moved the albums around so I can add more photos when I get them. I also added the photo of the King of Halloween, Jack. He is my favorite. October is my favorite month because I really love the fall, and I'm also a huge fan of Halloween. I also decided to add a few things to my second character's bedroom. I decided to add 2 framed posters. In real life, she had 2 framed photos that she took when she went to Los Angeles, which was the sunset on Venice Beach going over the ocean. And the second photo was a photo that she took when she was younger in downtown Savannah. I decided to also change the poster of Cherry because Cherry no longer lives on my island anymore, and I'll explain that in a later video. I decided to change it with a picture of Marshall. On the first Eloin, Marshall was the first campsite visitor. Before we finish the villager hunt, I want to tell you my plans for Serenity. I'm still going to decorate the neighbors' yards by inspiration of their backstories, but the plans for the rest of the island is I'm going to design the rest of the island in a rustic style. I'm also going to add some crops to the island, one of each style. Back in the episode 6 of the Eloin series, I talk about California. I also talk about when my mom was younger, she used to spend summers in Topanga at her friend's parents' horse ranch. She used to tell me that how rustic Topanga is, and I wanted to make my island to have a rustic feel to it like Topanga has. This will be done in the following videos. I cannot wait to design this island. It will not be done in one episode, but it will be done in numerous of episodes in the series of Serenity. I will be adding some Halloween decorations, some Christmas decorations to the island, depending on the season. But like I said, I want it to look like a rustic feel to it, and it's going to be a community where everyone can be themselves and live together in harmony and in peace. Now let's go finish the villager hunt for Caesar. My backstory for Caesar is he used to be an actor in Hollywood. He was cast a lot in the film noir movies. Caesar is very nice, but he looks like he's not. He looks like that because he is in constant pain from the injury that he had to retire because of. When filming his final movie, he seriously injured his back because of a stunt gone wrong. He had surgery to fix the injury, but he still is in a lot of pain. He had to quit acting because of the pain. He decided to move to Serenity during his retirement. He loves to look out for his friends. He treats his neighbors as his family. Caesar is a fan of astrology. Caesar is also a huge fan of gardening. Caesar is a perfect example of never judge a book by its cover. Caesar has a caring heart. He cares for everyone. He spends his days walking around checking on his neighbors. Caesar is also known to give presents to his neighbors. And Caesar does not expect any gifts in return. Caesar also loves when people come to visit him. Another thing Caesar likes is that he loves to discover new music, and he loves to watch movies and TV. And Caesar is a huge video game fan. His favorite style of video games are cozy games, but he will also play non-cozy games. Caesar is also an avid reader. He loves sci-fi, mystery, fantasy novels. Caesar is always open to discover new music, new books to read, and new TV shows and movies to watch. Caesar is just a fun guy who wants to spend his retirement on a place where he can find friends and be happy. Thank you for watching my video. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.